Okay, Suraj, please introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. My name is Suraj Prakash. I belong to a village Rajpura, which comes under district Samba, and I have done my schooling from my village itself. After that, I have done my graduation from Government Degree College, Kathua. I am a 2018 batch pass out, and in my hobbies, I like to play badminton and sometimes do jogging as well. And this will be my second interview for combined competitive examination of JKPSC.
Your name is Suraj. Suraj means
Yes, sir.
sun.
Yes, sir.
Which is the country that created the first artificial sun in the world?
Sir, I think it is China that has created the artificial sun.
And what was the principle that it worked on?
Sir, I'm not exactly sure, but if you give me few seconds, and
Yeah,
I can
please.
make a logical guess if you know.
Okay.
Sir, I think it works on the nuclear fusion process, and that the nuclear reaction occurs and the large amount of energy that it produces, it glows like sun.
Mhm. Do you think fusion could be a reliable source of energy for India as well?
Sir, as such, right now there are less initiative that are being taken, but in future I think it can become a source of energy for India because the experiments are being carrying doing on in the France, Europe also. A experiment where tokamak is used to produce a nuclear fusion energy. So considering the fact that the fossil fuels are depleting day by day, nuclear fusion can be a reliable source for India in future also.
So, how would fusion reactors be an improvement on the fission reactors?
Sir, to the best of my knowledge, in nuclear fission, there are a large number of neutrons and the byproducts are formed, where large nuclei breaks to form smaller ones. And the amount of radiations that nuclear fission generates is higher than the nuclear fusion, where two smaller atoms combine to form bigger atom. And further, the nuclear fusion produces more amount of energy in comparison to nuclear fission. So I think in that case, nuclear fission is better than nuclear fusion.
So, why isn't India looking into this prospectus and isn't developing any technology to harness this energy?
Sir, I beg to say here that the efforts are being doing on. The India is also participating in the nuclear fusion, the world experiment that is being doing on in the Europe, and from that India is trying to harness the technological gains that it will generate, and in future, uh, due to various efforts, for example, the National Research Foundation recently being thought of will also look after the changing and emerging technologies like nuclear fusion for energy security.
All right. Is it a clean energy, nuclear energy?
Sir, by definition, I would say it is not a clean energy because it do generate radioactive wastes sometime.
Okay, tell me what is green steel?
Sir, I have heard about this word, but if you give me, if you allow, I can make a logical guess.
Okay.
Sir, I think it in green steel. Sorry, sir. Right now, I am unable to recall, but I do have read this word somewhere.
Okay. No problem. Okay, tell me the methods by which we can reduce carbon emissions in steel sector.
Sir, I'm not exactly sure about the methods, but I can give you three, four ways where in which we can reduce the carbon emission. Firstly, by reducing the use of coal for energy purpose. Secondly, using the adsorbers on in the chimneys where the effluents are being ejected. And thirdly, I would say the use of clean energy. For example, the hydrogen fuel can be utilized to reduce the carbon intensity of steel sector.
What do you know about green hydrogen?
So it is the hydrogen which is produced by the electrolysis of water, and in that electrolysis process, the electricity which is being used is the renewable energy which is utilized.
So, what are the initiatives taken by the government in pursuance of creating green hydrogen?
Sir, yes, sir. Government has launched National Green Hydrogen Mission, in which it aims to become a green hydrogen hub for its generation and utilization in various industry sectors.
Right now we have this ethanol blending that is done for cars. We add ethanol. We have ethanol blending of 10% initially, and now we are trying to increase it to 20%. Uh, how would this increase from a 10% to a 20% blending help India's foreign exchange?
Yes, sir. Sir, first of all, it would lead to reduce in the import of oils that we bought from the Middle East and the outside world. And secondly, it would help in promotion of indigenous fuels like the ethanol for the other countries. If India utilize this initiative of generating a clean fuel and that has more higher energy efficiency. In these things, I think the foreign exchange can be uh, controlled.
Don't you think that focusing on ethanol blending for vehicles, India is ignoring the food security?
Sir, I would say that India has sufficient food surplus in present time, and the government also highlighted that it is because of our surplus food security that we are aiming for ethanol blending. And also, sir, it would not be the only the eatable foods that we'll be using for ethanol production. We are using second generation, third generation, and also the fourth generation biofuels for the production of ethanols.
Okay, Suraj, what do you know about particle?
Sir, it is also called as bosons. It is a it is being said that it is a particle which gives weight to the each and every subatomic particle of the matter that we presently have.
And why is it known as a God particle?
Sir, earlier it was not. It is thought that there is something that gives weight to the subatomic particles, but it was not discovered earlier. But recently, few years back, it has been discovered, and that's why it is called as God particle and also boson.
But why the name God?
Sir, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it is because that even the God we think we have not seen God visibly, but we think that there is something and we name it as god, and in this case scenario also I think it is because of this thinking that there is something that gives this particle as god particle name.
Okay, you have mentioned that you like to play badminton.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you some questions about that. Can you tell me how high is the badminton net?
So the pole,
What is the height of the badminton net on
so
the
it is
edges and in the
five.
center?
So the height is the 5 feet 1 inch, the highest point.
Why do we call it badminton?
Sir, I would say it is a historical. We have to historically the first time in 1867 when this badminton was played by the Britishers in the Gloucester, England. In the palace name was the Badminton House, and from there the name came the badminton.
Okay. Recently, much has been made of the fact that there are age frauds in badminton. Sports. Have you heard about that controversy?
Yes, sir.
Please elaborate on that.
It was regarding Lakshya Sen, I think, and that he had misrepresented his age in the junior selection while he was junior. So I think a vigilant uh, process during the selection should be ensured so that these age frauds does not malign the image of the game that is badminton.
Who is your favorite badminton player?
Sir, Lakshya Sen currently is my favorite badminton player.
What do you like about him precisely?
Sir, firstly, it is his endurance, the determination, uh, the hard work that he plays, and lastly, it is the flexibility that he shows on the ground. And one more thing, sir, it is the game awareness that he utilizes by playing in the game from 0 to 21.
PV Sindhu has recently lost a match. Have you seen that match?
Sorry, sir, I haven't seen that match.
Okay. You also like to jog. What is the difference
Yes.
between jogging and running?
Sir, if we go by the definition, uh, if a person runs more than 6 miles per hour speed, then it is called as running. But if he or she runs less than 6 miles per hour, then it is regarded as jogging. And if we go by the energy perspective, running is more energy intensive process than the jogging.
Okay. And suppose if you have to get an idea about the fatigue or the heart rate that you have, so is there any test that you can do?
Sir, I think there is a speed heart rate test. Maybe, sir, I'm not sure about the test.
There is this talk test that we do while jogging or running. What is that talk test?
Sorry, sir, I would have to read about it.
These shoe brands, they try to showcase their shoes from these very famous brands that you'll be able to run faster with these shoes. Do you think these shoes made by these famous brands, they really help you run faster?
Sir, personally, I believe it is the person's capabilities that are more important rather than shoes. But the equipments that a person use, for example, the shoes, they do play a great role. For example, by helping in good making good grip and by ensuring the weight transfer during the running, it also helps in enhancing the efficiency of a runner also.
Okay, tell me the best type of jogging to lose weight.
Sir, I would say it is the qualitative 15 to 20 minutes of jogging with better quality rather than quantity would help in reducing the weight.
What do you mean by quality?
So quality, I think it is a consistency and the equal number of steps in a given amount of time. So I think that will help in reducing calories and also the fat also.
So, what should be the heart rate, in an ideal jogging?
Sir, it should be between 80 to 100, I think, but I'm not exactly sure about the exact figure.
And if we have to get an idea about the maximum heart rate that a person can have, how do we calculate that?
Sorry, sir, I will have to read about it.
Your district is Samba.
Yes, sir.
Why are there protests against the administration in Samba right now?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is a case of the building of aims that is being going on in Vijaypur. So the locals are saying that the administration has administration has demolished their cremation ground. So they are protesting against that demolition by the administration, I think.
So, given a chance, if you had to mediate and negotiate a deal, how would you do that? What would be the solution?
Sir, the conversation would be the solution. I will try to communicate my instances and try to act as a bridge between the administration and the people, so that the both the build in the construction of the aims, that is the work of constructing aim, and the cremation ground, they should be built in a constructive manner.
Give me three major problems of Samba.
Yes, sir. Sir, firstly, I would say it is the unemployment. Secondly, I would say the agricultural distress. And thirdly, I would say the insurgency cross border, that is drone attacks and the drone smuggling that is going on. These are the major problems of the Samba, I think.
Recently, there were protests against the water crisis as well, and the people, they came on streets and they blocked some roads. Do you think it's justified to protest like this?
Sir, I would say the continuous protest against the water supply show highlights in the lack in efficiency of the administration also. And sir, I personally believe that the people will not go to the roads for stopping the vehicles if their grievances are addressed in a time bound manner. But if they are doing so, they should be taken constructively, and efforts should be made so that the administration should reach to the people standing at the last of the road, so that the administration policies and the schemes which are being made for them should reach there.
Do you think right to protest is an absolute fundamental right?
No, sir, it is not an absolute fundamental right. It can be curtailed uh, eh, under public order, morality, and health against it.
What is the sex ratio of Samba?
Sir, it is 886.
What are the reasons for decreasing sex ratio in summer?
Sir, when it was measured in 2011, uh, there was a lack of medical facilities was also there. Secondly, the nutritional deficiency in the new infants was also a major reason. And but after 2011, the steps have been taken place, and there are many schemes that are being going on that helped in increasing the sex ratio. And in this new census, when it will be conducted, the sex ratio, I believe, it will rise.
So, what steps have been taken by the government?
Yes, sir. Sir, the ASHA workers are doing very well. Secondly, the maternity benefits from uh, the Ration SOPs, National Food Security Act 2013. It provides nutritional security to the families. It helped. Thirdly, sir, the awareness programs by the panchayats and the blocks, they are also helping in ensuring that the lactating women and the pregnant women should be given adequate health care.
Recently there was this concept, this panchayat was in news, which became India's first carbon neutral panchayat. Are you aware of
Yes,
that?
yes.
Which
It
panchayat?
was Palli Panchayat of my district only, Samba.
Okay. And what is carbon neutrality?
Sir, it is a scenario where the particular location, uh, if generate 100 tons of CO2, then also in that year it captures that 100 year of CO2 from the atmosphere, so that there is a net zero loss of carbon in the atmosphere.
This concept of carbon neutrality uh, came in which of the conference of parties?
Sorry, sir. I think it is the Paris conference, but I am not exactly sure.
Okay. Which was the recent conference of party that was done?
So it was Conference of Parties 27, I think, and it was held in Egypt.
So what are India's and Egypt's relationship right now?
Yes, sir. They are going very well. India has also invited Egypt's president in during the Republic Day parade of 2023. And recently, by returning from the USA, our prime minister has also visited Egypt, where they have been he has been given the highest order of honor to our prime minister by the Egypt president. So I think Egypt can play a great role in ensuring the reach of India towards the Western nations through the Red Sea as well as through the Mediterranean Sea, and it can help in ensuring a better relation with the Middle East also.
The next COP would be held in Middle East. Do you know the country?
Sir, I'm not exactly sure. I think it will be held in UAE.
UAE. UAE is criticized for its rights about freedom and rights of media, criticizing the government. There's a huge clampdown on media as well, but it is clearly one of the best destinations for tourism, for investments, and it is also now engaging in the space activities as well. Can you name the recent launch that was done from UAE?
So it was a hope mission for the Mars, I think.
Mhm. And it was launched from where?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
What is India's Gaganyaan mission?
Sir, it is India's effort to highlight the capabilities of sending human space flights to space. Uh, it may go in the ending 2023 or in the first quarter of 2024. And India is also taking the help from Russian Space Center also.
And regarding that, we also conducted a CARE experiment. What was that?
Sorry, sir, I'm not exactly sure, but if you give me few seconds, I can make a logical guess.
Okay.
Sir, I think it was an experiment to check the abort mission while landing, because there are
That is that
two
is
missions.
known as
Two.
that is known as pad about test. That is something else.
Okay, sorry, sir, but I will have to read about it.
Which rocket would be used for Gaganyaan?
Sir, GSLV Mark III.
How is Mark III different from Mark II?
Sir, I think it is the difference in the payload that the two rockets can take in the space. The Mark
Any
III
difference
can
in the
carry up to 10.
technology?
Sir, I think Mark III use cryo engines in the upper stage, and the Mark III, but I will have to read about it. I'm not exactly sure.
Suraj, why do you want to join civil services?
Sir, firstly, sir, it will provide me a diverse platform to grow individually as well as to give services, my services to the nation. And secondly, sir, it will ensure my financial security towards my family also. And thirdly, sir, the diversity in working. For example, I may be working in health sector for some time, and in few years I may get a chance to work in the education sector. So the impact that I can give by joining the civil services, I think it attracts me.
So don't you think a person who is working in a health sector, after some time he is transferred to some other sector and then to other sector, uh, that does not develop an expertise on one specific sector? And in that scenario, lateral entry would be a best option for India. What do you think about that?
Sir, I think giving different departments to the same person will give a large exposure to that person, and the experience will increase day by day. But also considering the fact that there is a less workforce available with the government, and I think the lateral entry will help in reducing that gap. Further, the expertise which the lateral entry will provide to the government, which will help in ensuring a better service delivery and growth of a particular sector also. But sir, I am also in favor of giving uh, special space to the bureaucrats only, so that they may develop in a particular two or three sectors, and when they will be in that phase of their career where they can provide better guidance, in that scenario we can use them.
Suraj, there are 700 other candidates that are trying to get into this job. Uh, what differentiates you from them, and why should we select you?
Sir, firstly, sir, I would say it all candidates might be good as me, and the differentiating factor would be, sir, I'm not very desperate to join. And by desperation, I mean that if I do not have that qualities of becoming a bureaucrat right now, I would be working on these loopholes, and in the consecutive attempts, I would like to get selected. And regarding that, why you select me, sir, I would say I have the qualities that a bureaucrat should have. I have the hardworking nature. I have perseverance in me. I have compassionate attitude towards poor and weaker section I interact with. And sir, lastly, I have the capabilities to take decisions. So these qualities make me eligible for getting selected. But if the board finds that I am lacking in some of the qualities, then the board has the justice, had the right to select the other candidate. But I will be coming next year to get selected.
Okay, Suraj, my last question to you would be, uh, tell me anything interesting about yourself.
Sir, sir, earlier I had a habit of nail biting, but I have overcome it with the time. So now my nails are little more better.
All right. Okay, let's conclude.
Thank you, sir.
सूरज बहुत बढ़िया परफॉर्मेंस है. आई
Thank you, sir.
आई रिमेम्बर लास्ट टाइम जब हमने बात किया था पिछले साल, एंड आज मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ. आई कैन नॉट बिलीव कि आपने इतना इम्प्रूव किया है, और आपकी पर्सनालिटी इज लाइक टोटल अपोजिट ऑफ व्हाट यू वर बैक देन. एंड आई कुड सी
Thank you.
योर कॉन्फिडेंस, योर आंसर्स. आपने इतना परफेक्ट आंसर दिया है चीजों का कि मैंने लिखना ही छोड़ दिया था फीडबैक आपका. तो
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
मैंने बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस का लिखा ही नहीं. एंड इट इज जस्ट वन थिंग जो मैं बोलूंगा बाद में, जो आपको नहीं बोलना चाहिए था. बट फिनोमिनल फिनोमिनल परफॉर्मेंस. यू हैव अ सॉलिड नॉलेज बेस. आपने, मुझे नहीं लगता है कि ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन, बेसिकली जो मेजर क्वेश्चन पूछा मैंने, आपने कोई छोड़ा. एंड बहुत 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 क्रिस्प, बहुत ही स्ट्रक्चर्ड, बहुत ही कंक्रीट आंसर्स है आपके. आई बिलीव आप बहुत अच्छा इंटरव्यू में करेंगे. मेंस में अगर आपका ठीक ठाक गया है, nobody can stop you qualifying the exam this year.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We'll start with your introduction. आपने जैसे इंट्रोडक्शन लिया, परफेक्ट, उसमें हर एक चीज आपने बोली, न ज्यादा था न कम था. इट वाज ब्यूटीफुल. देन हमने आपके नाम से शुरू किया, आर्टिफिशियल सन एंड फ्यूजन एंड फिशन, वहां से आपको सब कुछ, यू हैड द नॉलेज. ग्रीन स्टील, कोई बात नहीं, इफ यू डोंट नो इट, इट्स फाइन. फिर मैंने कार्बन एमिशंस को कम करने ने जो 2-3 पॉइंट्स बोले कि हमें हाइड्रोजन फ्यूल या एब्जॉर्बेंट लगाने चाहिए या कोल का इस्तेमाल कम करना चाहिए. देन ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन, उसके लिए यू ऑलरेडी न्यू द मिशन. फिर एथेनॉल ब्लेंडिंग में यू ऑलरेडी नो दैट. फूड आपने फिर बताया कि फूड सिक्योरिटी में कोई इशू नहीं है एथेनॉल ब्लेंडिंग का. पर एक आर्टिकल आया था इस पर, आप चेक करना, इंडिया टुडे पे आया था, एथेनॉल ब्लेंडिंग एंड फूड सिक्योरिटी. तो वो चेक कर लेना.
ठीक है सर.
एक फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन गलत बोला आपने. गॉड पार्टिकल हैज नथिंग टू डू विद गॉड. इट वाज एक्चुअली जब पीटर हिग्स ने गॉड पार्टिकल को ये प्रिडिक्ट किया था, we spent so much time finding this particle कि there's a magazine wherein the scientist wrote an article जहां पर उसने लिखा कि भाई ये पार्टिकल मिलता ही नहीं है, इट इज अ गॉड डैम पार्टिकल. तो फिर बाद
अच्छा
में जब
ओके.
फिर जब बाद में ये डिस्कवर हुआ तो डैम बीच में से हटाकर इसको गॉड पार्टिकल कर दिया.
सर मैंने स्टोरी पढ़ी थी पर ये फैक्ट शायद मिस कर गया मैं.
हाँ, तो ठीक है, नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. फिर मैंने पूछा आपको कि आपका फेवरेट प्लेयर कौन है. बहुत तगड़े तरीके से आपने पहले से तैयार करके रखा है. यू नो कि मुझे क्या बोलना है. एंड्योरेंस, डिटर्मिनेशन, हार्डवर्क, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी, अवेयरनेस. बहुत तगड़ा आंसर. देन सांबा, आपकी डिस्ट्रिक्ट के बारे में बात की हमने. सेक्स रेशियो पर आपको आइडिया था पहले से, सेक्स रेशियो कम क्यों है, अगले अगले सेंसस में बढ़ेगा. कार्बन न्यूट्रलिटी पे बात की. वेरी गुड. यू न्यू अबाउट योर डिस्ट्रिक्ट, यू नो अबाउट योर डिस्ट्रिक्ट, यू नो अबाउट योर बैकग्राउंड. मैं केमिस्ट्री पे नहीं जाने वाला था बिकॉज लास्ट टाइम मैंने केमिस्ट्री आपका पूछा था, तो आपका केमिस्ट्री बहुत अच्छा है. तो आई डोंट थिंक कि उस पर जाने की जरूरत है. इंडिया इजिप्ट पे बात की. इंडिया का रीच उसमें बढ़ेगा. मिडल ईस्ट, यूएई, फिर वहां से होप मशीन पे चले गए. फिर गगनयान के बारे में यू हैड नॉलेज. बट एक चीज आपने, लॉजिकल गेस आपने लगभग 4 बार रिपीट किया. सर क्या नहीं, मेक अ लॉजिकल गेस, लॉजिकल गेस, लॉजिकल गेस. एक बार आप इस्तेमाल कर लेना, लेकिन दूसरे टाइम पे जब गेस करने की बात करें, सो पहली बार में आप ऐसा बोलना है, सर एम आई अलाउड टू गेस. फिर
ठीक
कैन
है.
आई टेक अ गेस. फिर कभी आई कैन मेक अ लॉजिकल गेस. यू हैव टू चेंज
ठीक है.
दीज वर्ड्स. इससे क्या होता है, थोड़ा सटलनेस लगती है. इट बिकम्स अ लिटिल
ठीक.
सटल. तो रेपिटेशन, रिपीटेड नहीं लगता ये चीज. फिर वी टॉक्ड अबाउट वॉइस सिविल सर्विसेज. यहाँ पर मैं चाहूंगा थोड़ा आप इसको चेंज करो. लास्ट ईयर इट वुड हैव बीन फाइन, बट द वीडियोस जो हमने पब्लिक करा है लास्ट ईयर, जिसकी वजह से ये एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड आंसर बन चुका है सबका. अभी ये मेरा लगभग 45th इंटरव्यू है विद यू. तो उसमें ऑलमोस्ट हर बच्चे का सेम आंसर है. डाइवर्स प्लेटफॉर्म, नेशन बिल्डिंग, फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी, ऑलमोस्ट हर बच्चा बोल रहा है. So apart
ठीक.
from this, apart from these three factors, you should come up with a unique anecdote, unique story about yourself.
सर मेरे पास थी पर मैं ना वो बना बनाया आंसर ही आपको बता दिया. मेरे पास स्टोरी थी, ये तहसीलदार मैम की थी, उसको ऐड कर दूं इस बार.
आप स्टोरी बताइए मुझे.
स्टोरी सर स्कूल में आए थे तहसीलदार मैम और जिस तरीके से उनको वो अप्रिसिएशन किया गया था पूरे स्कूल की तरफ से, और सारे देख रहे थे कौन सी है तहसीलदार मैम और कैसे उन्होंने वो
नहीं,
प्राइज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किया और उनकी स्पीच भी थी.
वो ठीक है, अगर आप स्पीच से इंस्पायर हुए वो अच्छी बात है. मगर दूसरा हो गया, वो लोग बड़े उनको देख रहे थे और लोग उनको
वो तो हाँ.
वो वाह वाह कर रहे थे. वो अच्छी बात नहीं है कि आप इस
स्पीच में
चीज
भी
को.
था सर, उन्होंने राइट टू इन्फॉर्मेशन के ऊपर समझाया था.
ठीक है, आप ऐसा बता सकते हैं कि यू गॉट इंस्पायर्ड बाय हर, बाय व्हाट शी सेड. उसने
यस.
क्या बातें की उस पर आप इंस्पायर. पर ये नहीं कि मैंने देखा कि लोग उनको ऐसे कर रहे थे, वैसे कर रहे
ठीक
थे,
है.
तो उनको
हाँ
रेस्पेक्ट.
इसको.
वो
ठीक.
वो नहीं आना चाहिए. तो अब एक पर्सनल स्टोरी, एक पर्सनल एनेक्डोट आना चाहिए इसमें. वो थोड़ा यूनिक बनाएगा इस आंसर को, वरना ये क्लीशे आंसर है लगभग सबका. ठीक है.
ठीक है मैं कर दूंगा ऐड.
उसके बाद मैंने बोला व्हाई शुड वी सिलेक्ट यू. आपने बहुत अच्छा आंसर दिया उसका कि मुझ में वो क्वालिटीज है जो ब्यूरोक्रेट में होनी चाहिए. डिसीजन मेकिंग, आपने इंटेलेक्चुअल क्वालिटी बोली, आपने इमोशनल क्वालिटी बोली. आपने बोला कि अगर कोई और आपको मिलेगा फाइन, बट मैं फिर से कोशिश करूंगा अगले साल. सब ठीक. पर आपको ये नहीं बोलना चाहता कि मैं ज्यादा डेस्परेट नहीं हूँ इसके लिए. ठीक है, यू
ठीक है.
सेड दैट आई एम नॉट वेरी डेस्परेट टू ज्वाइन. इनफैक्ट आपने डेस्परेशन को पॉजिटिव वे में ही एक्सप्लेन किया, बट यू शुड नॉट से दैट। आपको यही चीज जो आपने बाकी आंसर दिया कि सर एज फार एज आई नो माई सेल्फ, सिविल सर्वेंट ऑफिसर की जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती है मैं वो फुलफिल करता हूँ, और उसके अलावा भी अगर कोई कमी होगी मैं अगले अटेम्प्ट में वो पूरी कर लूंगा अगर मैं इस बार सिलेक्ट नहीं हुआ। बट ये बोलना कि मैं डेस्परेट इसके लिए नहीं हूँ, तो थोड़ा आपकी इसके बारे में जो पैशन है वो थोड़ा कम दिखेगा इसमें, पैशन अबाउट सिविल सर्विसेज, सो डोंट मेंशन अबाउट नॉट बीइंग डेस्परेट। तो
ओके।
वो सेकेंडली इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग आपने बोली नेल बाइटिंग का, एक इंटरेस्टिंग एक्सपीरियंस, इससे थोड़ा अच्छा वाला निकाल लो, अपने बारे
ठीक
में
है।
कुछ अच्छा, हाँ कोई अच्छी चीज बता दो। बाकी आई यू हैव बीन वन ऑफ द, दिस वाज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट इंटरव्यूज जो अभी तक मैंने किया है। यू आर अ वंडरफुल
थैंक यू सर।
कैंडिडेट, आपका योर अपराइट, योर कॉन्फिडेंस, योर स्माइल, आपका एक ऑरा दिख रहा है ऑफिसर वाला, आपका आ चुका है वो, एक आ जाता है इंसान में, ठीक है। तो आई बिलीव कि इस साल आपका होने वाला है, मुझे ऐसा फीलिंग आ रहा है।
हो जाए सर। लास्ट
इंशाल्लाह।
ईयर भी था चांस, मेरे को होप था, पर मेरे को ये नहीं पता था कि GS1 और GS4 में मार्क्स कम मिले होंगे।
कभी कुछ बोल नहीं सकते इसमें, कभी कुछ भी हो जाता है, ये सिविल सर्विसेज का लाइफ ही ऐसा है, यू नेवर नो कि क्या होता है। वेरी ब्रिलियंट स्टूडेंट लास्ट ईयर जिसमें वी वर डैम श्योर कि उनका हो जाएगा, बट in fact she was one of the best students in essay writing. उनको essay में they've given 89 marks for in essay, and she was the topper of essays in the institute. तो
इंस्टीट्यूट
you
में।
never know कि क्या होगा। पर ये है कि I don't believe आपका evolution ऐसा हो चुका है कि this has to be your attempt this year.
यस सर। मैं 6 जुलाई को सर गया था UPSC भवन भी CAPF के लिए, और वहाँ पे अच्छा हो गया मेरा इंटरव्यू।
वहां पर इंटरव्यू किस बेसिस पे चला ज्यादा?
डेफ पे ही था सर।
केमिस्ट्री वगैरह, बैकग्राउंड, कश्मीर?
हाँ, केमिस्ट्री पे, मेरी स्ट्रेंथ्स पे, मेरी वीकनेसेस पे। तो CAPF था तो उन्होंने फोर्सेस के बारे में पूछा, व्हाट आर द मेजर चैलेंजेस ऑफ BSF इन योर एरिया, ऐसे करके। फिर मिलेट्स के ऊपर भी पूछा था उन्होंने। बड़ी सारी चीजें थी, जैसे मेरे फादर गोल्ड स्मिथ हैं तो गोल्ड के ऊपर भी थोड़ा चला, करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट, गोल्ड पॉलिसी
मुझे
क्या है
याद
इंडिया की।
है लास्ट टाइम हमने गोल्ड पे किया था आपका।
किया था सर।
हाँ मुझे।
JKPSC में भी 80% मेरा डेफ पे किया था, वो
हम्म,
केमिस्ट्री पे था, न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर से, क्वांटम फिजिक्स, क्वांटम केमिस्ट्री, ये बॉम्ब्स
हम्म,
क्या हैं, केमिकल वेपन्स क्या हैं, उसी पे चला था। फिर उन्होंने मेरे से वो नोबेल प्राइज के ऊपर पूछा था मैम ने, मैरी क्यूरी के बारे में पूछा था, एसिड रेन क्या है, वो मैं उसके प्रिपेयर्ड था, वो मैंने नोट्स बनाए हुए थे सारे, वहां जाके बोल गया। तो 170 मार्क्स मेरे को डिसेंट ही लगे जी उस हिसाब से।
नहीं वो अच्छे मार्क्स तो है, लेकिन इस बार ही मुझे लगता है आप और अच्छा करोगे।
मैं कोशिश करूंगा सर।
हाँ,
अभी
जरूर।
डर थोड़ा ज्यादा था मेरे में, एंग्जाइटी
हाँ,
ज्यादा थी।
पर
बट अभी
पर
मैं
पर
UPSC को के आया हूँ तो वो कम हो गई है।
जी जी जी। हाउ इज योर ब्रदर? आपका छोटा भाई भी था शायद।
अच्छा सर, बाहर ही होगा।
चलो, ही वाज रियली कंसर्न लास्ट ईयर कि क्या क्या होगा, बट एवरीबॉडी हैज अ टाइम। आपको देखिए इस साल में, लास्ट ईयर आपका नहीं हुआ, पर इस साल में जो आप बने हो, ये ऊपर वाले का एक स्कीम होता है कि आपको कब वो उठाना चाहता है, तो उसमें भी
यस सर।
एक विजडम होता है पीछे।
यस सर। सर
मुझे
साथ
नहीं
में
लगता
लास्ट,
मुझे। जी।
हाँ, इशू ये हुआ था कि जैसे हमारे इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर का सर्टिफिकेट लगता है IB का,
हम्म,
तो उसका कोटा होता है 4% का। तो
हम्म।
मैंने लास्ट टाइम वो लगाया नहीं था, वो बना ही नहीं था। तो मेरे मार्क्स थे 1054 फाइनल में, और उसका कट ऑफ गया था 1029। तो उससे मेरे 25 मार्क्स ज्यादा थे, पर वो सर्टिफिकेट नहीं लगाया था मैंने।
ओ माय गॉड, इस बार ही
इसी
है।
वजह से घर वाले ज्यादा दुखी थे।
अच्छा,
इस बार ही है सर।
इस बार ही है।
बाय गॉड ग्रेस इस बार है।
इस बार ही। नहीं, आई डोंट थिंक दिल हैव एनी रीजन टू नॉट सिलेक्ट यू। ये तो अब तो मुझे लगता है कि दिस इज द अटेम्प्ट, आपका हो जाएगा इस बार।
थैंक यू सर, आशीर्वाद है सर आपका बस।
जरूर इंशाल्लाह। ठीक है
जरूर।
सूरज, आई विल वेट फॉर द लिस्ट, और उसके बाद हम फिर से बात करेंगे।
यस सर।
ओके,
थैंक
ऑल
यू।
द, बाय।